Today on the channel, the long wait is over as the Haslab is here from G.I. Joe Classified series. We got the Hiss Tank.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another G.I. Joe Classified series unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got something extra special. We got something about a year in the pipeline. It's finally here. It is the G.I. Joe Classified series Hiss Tank. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there, but this one's going to be a little bit different as this is a big boy, as you guys do know. We got plenty of figures inside here, and I have decided to do this unboxing, where this unboxing you're watching right now will be just the Hiss Tank. The figures I'm going to do a separate video for. Everything in this set is special. Everything should shine. Everything should have the normal treatment, and I don't want to do a 2-hour video on everything. So look for the figures in separate videos. This video is about the Hiss Tank itself right here. So let's, without further ado, take a look at the packaging here. As you can imagine, this is a heavy guy. Very cool graphics here. Got that black and red attack going on. Beautiful graphics. We saw these. Didn't we vote on these? I always kind of forget. They always set those things up. Currently, there's a Giant Man. You can vote for the artwork on that one. I think they did the same thing on this Hiss Tank one, but we do got some cool artwork there. There's the Hiss Tank, some of the tacticians, all that stuff. On the top, Cobra. Oh my gosh, that's heavy, but a very cool Cobra logo. Black and red attack looking really good on this one. On the sides there, you can see that as well. Look at those Hiss Tank lights. I forgot this thing lights up. That's one of those things you forget until it comes. Kind of set it and forget it. On the back here, if I can get it the right way, very kind of documents back here. It almost looks like we used to get with the G.I. Joe toys back in the day, kind of like the owner's manual is almost what it looks like right there. But looking very nice, looking very cool on the side. And this side, oh my gosh, this thing's heavy. I don't even know how much this thing weighs, but it's a lot. But there's the old Hiss Tank going off to battle. Possibly the most iconic Cobra vehicle. I guess that is to be argued a little bit. But the Hiss Tank one, a lot of people had back in the day. A lot of people have right now, especially with this new Classified Series one. So now I'm going to take this offline. We're going to get everything out of the pack, and we'll be back talking all things Cobra Hiss Tank. All right, it's time to party. The Hiss Tank is out of the package, and I got to say, very well protected. This thing went a long way from the factories in China, I assume. And this did come very well protected. A lot of plastic, everything individually wrapped. Had no issues, at least that I've seen so far. Any breakage, dings, dents, anything like that. Of course, remember the figures going to be unboxed in separate videos. Check those videos out on the channel. Make sure you do subscribe to this channel as well. But let's dive in here and let's start with some of this stuff. Now we do get the big instruction sheet here. You got to have that. A little bit of instructions, pretty much easy to do. There wasn't a lot of extra hard stuff, anything like that. There was only one thing that caused me some difficulty with this. I will talk about it in a second or two, but it is pretty much step-by-step instructions. And it's funny, you know, these Haslabs, we order them and then we forget about them for a year, at least I do. And it's crazy how you can move this around, and really the interchangeability with this Hiss Tank. You can really make different Hiss Tanks. And if you order multiple, you can have one looking one way, one looking a different way. Very cool to be able to do that. There's a lot of people that army build G.I. Joe stuff, including vehicles like this. I'm sure there's people out there that got 3, 4, 5 of these Hiss Tanks, and they're going to want to make them as different as possible. And I do like that with this. And one way to make them very different is this sticker set. And I was just almost a phone call to my dad, just like the good old days in the 80s. I saw all these stickers and I said, oh no, this is not for me. I was going to say, Dad, I need you over here. We won't do it on camera. I know you're retired. Yes, you're retired. I won't do it on camera. We can do it off camera and you can just put these stickers on. But then I looked around and I didn't see any instructions of where to put the stickers. So it's truly a choose your own adventure sticker system going on right here. So it's up to you where you want to place and put these things. For me, I'm not going to do it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like keeping it intact is the way it's going to go. I'm going to keep it with the instructions off to the side. I believe, I was talking to Good good friend of the channel, Midwest professional wrestling legend, GIJOE, and he said he believes these stickers are removable and you can put them on and put them back, things like that. That's a pretty neat feature if that is true, but I don't want to lose anything. I don't want to do that, but if you're having multiple his tanks, you can put different stickers, really make these feel different if you want to. So we do get this sticker system with these. Now, we did get a lot of stuff. We got a little guns and things, and I guess we'll go through them, but I had to put those on. All went on very easy, but I want to talk about a few different things, and I guess we'll start with the treads on the his tank here. Now, very cool rubberized treads. They actually do move. They actually do roll. We are here for that. That is very, very cool if you ask me. As I turn on all these lights here, we'll get to those in a second as I power through them all. But very cool treads here. Now, this is where you start to choose your own adventure with your his tank, as you do get two side guards here, and you got to choose, how do you want these to be? How do you want them to be on here? Do you want this one on with the more blocky one, or do you want the very long kind of blocky one? And I don't even know what the technical term is, but for me, I think I'm putting, I got to make sure I'm on the right side here, but I think I'm putting on the big protective case on here. So really, you got three options. Nothing going on, you got this one, or you got the little smaller one to put on there. It's choose your own adventure. You got some coding, some language on there. We'll take pictures of that. But you got to choose how you want your treads to be, how you want the protection on the side to be, and you got a couple of different options here. So we're here for that. I think that does work really good. But the treads feel very nice, feel very sturdy. They do roll very well, even makes a little noise. As you can imagine, makes the noise you would think of. But very nice, very good bass on it. They hold the whole thing up. Very good. Now, this is heavy, but it's not overly crazy heavy. I don't know, 5 pounds. I'm judging it by 5 pounds is what we're going to say. But it does feel very good in hand. Does feel very sturdy. Does not feel cheap. Also does not feel like it's going to break on me at any time. So I do like that. I think we all like that for sure. Now, some of the added stuff we had to add on here, we do have the missiles on the side. Now, these do telescope out if need be, so you can pull them in and out, and then it does plug here. So this is another one of those choose your own adventure. You put this flap down, you don't have to have it, or you put the flap up, plug these in, they go in very easily right there on the side. You do get these little missiles here. The missiles are all removable. Got the very common old school G.I. Joe plug-in device. I am here for that. Just feels like it's 1980s all over again, building that out. But I will probably leave these on here because I don't want to put them away for storage. They can store on here very easily. That's what I'm going to do. But you got the big old missiles off the side. Do whatever you want to do with those. Now, working around here a little bit, you got Cobra logo here, Cobra logo on the side. You got 3 of 63. Sure, why not? You also got a little ladder that pulls down here. So a little step ladder to get up in here. Makes a lot of sense. This is a big one for the driver, the gunners, all that to get into. So you got the ladder, folds up. Very, very cool. We're here for that. And then you do get some steps on the back. You get a big step here. You could have somebody standing here. Kind of surprised we didn't get peg stands on the back for this. That would have made a lot of sense, I do think. And we'll get to this back canopy here in a second. We're going to go through all the top stuff first. Now, the gunner at the top, very cool once again. Very easy to remove, too. I like that. So, of course, the gunner fits right inside there. These two guns and the drums on the side just plug right in. Those were in the package. Same thing with the guns up here. Pull up and down. Very tight, very ratchety. Listen to this. So you got nice ratchet joints on here. Of course, they need that here because you don't want these drooping over time. You want these to be stern and tough. We do have that. Love the different color combinations. It might look all dark, but it's got black and gray and kind of a smoky gray. And then I like kind of the purple. It's like this thing has been firing a million times. It's like worn out metal. It almost looks like a tractor on a pipe or something. The metal's been worn. This has been used. This is something that's happened. You also get a nice shield up front here. And this is removable. Once again, you have a regular Cobra logo. So another way to make this different if you really want to. You can change up, mix things around. Do whatever you want to do, and as we always say, choose your own adventure at the end of the day, and that clips right back in there like so. Just snaps in very easily. Talked about these weapons on the side. Got a little handlebar on the back here, and then you got a little gunner steering wheel here for the guns. Moving back and forth, side to side, up and down like so, but you got a nice steering wheel with the Cobra logo right in the front. Would have liked a little extra color there, and I guess some of these stickers... no, none of those stickers go in there, but I was going to say you could probably put a sticker up here. Would have been nice to have a little readout, a little extra color there. Not the end of the world, though, but like I said, just fits right back in there if you need to. Very cool, very his tank, of course. Most people that are friends of G.I. Joe, fans of G.I. Joe, they know all about the his tanks. We're used to them by now. And like I said, too, also, I think I can't remember if I said it earlier or not, but we've seen his tanks in black, we've seen them in blue, we've seen them in white, I believe we've seen them in red. Who knows? Down the line, could there be variant HISS tanks? I don't know if that's a great idea right now, but 10 years down the line, who knows? Stranger things have happened. Talked about a bar on the back here, but you also got a bar over here, so you got a little of that going on. And that's pretty much it for the outer side of the HISS tank. Now, you get to the underside right here. You, of course, got the big gun here. Rotates around, moves back and forth. Very, very nice. Very, very cool. You get the underbelly here, and then underneath is where the lights go, or I should say the batteries go to control the lights. Now, you got a little piece right here. I don't know about you, this caused me a lot of headaches. This screw is extremely difficult. You have to use a little muscle to get it out. I was starting to strip the screws, I thought, so you got to be wary of that. I talked to Midwest Professional Wrestling legend GIJOE once again. He had to put a little extra oomph in it as well. So that is one thing. Be very careful removing it. It does take three AA batteries is what it takes. So you do have that. So buyer beware on that one. Just be careful with this. This is an expensive thing. You don't want to strip that screw, break the plastic, anything like that. So that is a watch out. Now the button, I couldn't find it first, but the button is right here underneath. And you can run through all the lights. You can see the lights going on up there. You can see the little light down there. It's kind of hard to see, but oh my gosh, look at those headlights. You can definitely see that. Lighting the way here for the HISS tank, and then very cool, it puts a Cobra logo on the table. You can kind of see that. I'll try to get better pictures of that as well. But this could double as a flashlight if you want this next to your nightstand at night. You know, you wake up, you got to go to the bathroom, there's a burglar or something like that. You just fire this up, and this is your flashlight that leads the way. Probably the coolest flashlight ever, really. But it does go through all that. You do get some stuff going on in the cockpit as well. We'll talk about that, but the whole cockpit does light up with the push of the button. There's many different patterns and things like that as you push through it. A lot of different stuff, a lot of different lights that come off and on. As you can see, we go through it, we'll cycle through it all once. You know, the light up in the middle where it's blinking on you. A lot of stuff going on, but those lights are pretty cool. That's pretty powerful. The power of LEDs compel you is what that does right there. But very, very cool. And I should have went the back on that one. You do get the back lights as well. We'll get there eventually. Come on, backlight. There it is. There's the reverse lights in case you need to go into reverse, of course. So we do got those going on. We'll let you get those turned off there. There it is. Turn those off. Getting into the cockpit here before we go into the back door. And, of course, you guys know I'm an expert at the back door. We'll get back there eventually. But looking really, really good here. You do got the nice seatbelt apparatus. The big old 3-point harness. This isn't just a lap belt on this big old HISS tank. It's a 3-point harness. So, of course, it does unplug. You can put your driver in there. Of course, we got the HISS tank driver. We know all about that. Got a little shifter gear. You got buttons. Got a nice red interior. Got the Cobra logo inside. You got the big readout pane up there. It all brightens up with the light, of course, as we know, as we saw. Now, getting into the canopy, that's where we choose our own adventure once again. I am not sure what to do at this point. This is a nice one. A nice clear canopy just goes on, clear as day. You can see everything going on. A very sleek, clean look with this one. So you can choose that canopy, or you get the second canopy, which is pretty cool as the sides go up like a young DeLorean. And, of course, DeLorean, one of the greatest automobiles of the 80s. I heard it was in a movie in the 80s. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that movie. But I do know Spaceman Ace Frehley, he did have a DeLorean at one time, so he could probably relate to these. But I do like how these come up and down. I think that is really cool. Extra attention to detail. It's clear, but it's black and red. It is very much on brand. Looking very nice. Either canopy looked great on this one. It really is coming down to just personal preference on that, how you want to go about your business with your canopy. So we do have that going on. Now, in the back is where things get real interesting. You got a little tow hook action back here. We do know there's going to be some add-ons, some things over the years. Maybe smaller vehicles will be able to tow with this thing, so we got to be ready for that. But then you get the whole back that flips down. So this does flip down right here, so you can have multiple people standing on here, and I guess you put their hand up there, and hopefully they're holding on for dear life. You could be doing that, I guess. But then we get this whole back, of course, flips up, and the whole ramp comes out. Now, it would be really cool if there was like a small rolling vehicle that would just roll out of this. Kind of like the G.I. Joe Havoc. They had that little flight pod. Would have been cool if they would have invented something for this to have it roll out. That would have been a really cool feature. But I like the hinge door. Very nice. But when you do hinge this out, as you can see, you get the lights that turn on inside. I think that is pretty cool. I'm here for a little lighted action. And it's a little dark in there. Now, one confusing thing you'll see when you look at the instructions, you do see a piece where it shows all the weapons on the weapons tree, the weapons rack in here. And you're like, where are these weapons? I can't find them. Well, obviously the 3 HISS drivers, tacticians, gunners, They come with weapons. Those weapons will store in here on the side if you need to. So you got storage for weapons in there. You do got a nice little rumble seat right here. You got a little seat here. So you can seat all 3 figures. You got the gunner up here, the driver here, and I guess the tactician back here ready to roll out. You can, of course, stuff this full of Joes. I mean, you could probably get, I don't know, 10 Joes back in here. You tied them, put them in like sardines if you want to. You can probably get 10 Cobra different vehicles, drivers, officers, Vipers, whatever you want to throw in there. You can do that if you choose to. But I do like that the light comes on, little overhead light, and very ominous with the red light going there. You can just see them rolling down. You know, it's probably a bumpy ride. You can just see them all sitting in there, and it's all shaking on them. They got that red light going on. It's just very ominous that they're going to fight the great battle, probably against Flint by himself. They're trying to get it, and then Flint takes out all the drivers, everything else. It really writes itself at the end of the day. But I do like the extra playability function right there, pulling up. Love the Cobra logos all over this thing. Just an all-timer of a vehicle, a very fun Haslab. And growing up, I don't know if you were like me, but the Hiss Tank was not the #1 iconic vehicle for me for Cobra, probably because I didn't have a Hiss Tank as a little kid. Maybe that was a part of it. The Cobra Stun was one I really did enjoy. The Moray was a fun one for me as well. There was a lot of good Cobra vehicles, and you could rattle off a bunch of them from the Joe and Cobra side. But I wouldn't say I was deflated when the Hiss Tank. I was excited. I'm here for a Hiss Tank, but it wasn't like, you know, we're getting the aircraft carrier or something like that. But man, oh man, is this better in hand. And I got to put my hands on this for the first time at San Diego Comic-Con. And I knew it was something special when I got to lay my hand on it. And it's still special to this day. This is a very, very fun thing. Very nostalgic. While not my favorite Cobra vehicle, I would have to say the majority of people, when they think of Cobra vehicles, they probably do think Hiss Tank. So it is very cool to get something like this. And it's a cool time to be a G.I. Joe fan, a G.I. Joe collector, to get stuff like this after all those years. Playing with it in the 80s, and here we are in the 2020s, getting something like this, I think, is pretty darn cool at the end of the day. A fun one, an all-time one, a shelf killer of one, too. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to display this. I'd hate to put it on the floor. We'll see if I can get it in there real tight in a Billy bookshelf, something like that. Just not exactly sure yet where this is going to go, but it definitely has a welcome spot in my house. And then next year we'll bring on the Dragonfly. Get me Wild Bill and his great handlebar mustache. I'm here for that as well. And I don't know what's going to be next. What will the next Haslab be? Does anybody have any guesses? My guess is it's probably going to be a G.I. Joe vehicle or a Cobra vehicle again. I'm getting all mixed up. Should be a Cobra. I feel like they did Cobra. They did Joe's. Now they should go back to Cobra. Would be cool to get a boat, maybe a Moray, something like that. I'd be here for that. We'll see what ends up happening in the future, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below if you think it's going to be a Joe vehicle, a Cobra vehicle, or what it's going to be. And of course, in the comments, let me know your thoughts on this Hiss Tank. Did it meet your expectations? Did it beat your expectations like it did for me? Just a lot of fun. I could just imagine myself as a little kid getting something like this. Oh my gosh. Dad, close down the weekend. I'm not coming out of the basement. Some things never change, I guess. Who knows? But let me know your thoughts on the Hiss Tank in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. We got 2 channels to subscribe to, so make sure you subscribe to both of them. And of course, don't forget about the Patreon channel for early access to both channels' videos and videos like this as well. Check out the old Patreon. And then, of course, you can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget to hit me up. Follow along over on social media. SirPaul64 on the X. The _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and of course on Instagram. So for the Haslab Hiss Tank, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.